When I got the world's worst Supra, I decided to rebuild this car from the ground up. We found a frame rail in the middle of the woods, we pulled the frame, pulled the engine out of the car, cut off the bad frame rail, put the new frame rail in place, welded in the core support as well as the rail, and now it's time to get on to the back of the car. Welcome back to Jack Builds It, and this week we're going to start working on the quarter panel. Last week we got the core support and the frame rail welded into place. There's still a lot of work to do, so let's go check that out back there. So as you remember last week, we had a lot of body filler in many different places, but I want to find out whether or not this panel is worth saving. Because if it's not worth saving, I have a backup plan, but before we go to that backup plan, it's going to cost a lot more money if I go to that backup plan. I want to find out how much body filler and how bad this panel actually is. So to do that, we're gonna bust out that wire wheel stripper thingy that we got, and we're gonna take off a lot of body filler. We're gonna make a little bit of a mess. That's where Kyle's gonna come into play, because I'm gonna have him holding the vacuum down there and sucking all that up.
I'm great at sucking. I'm #1 sucker. I suck.
He said it. Anyway, we need to take a few parts off of this. Probably gonna leave the deck lid on for now, but let's just get all of this out of the way and find out what's going on with the metal underneath. So this here is a plastic. It is a 3D printed fuel door. So what's your guess on how much this actually would cost?
The 3D printed one?
Yeah.
$5.
How much do you think the factory one cost?
$11.
No, it's around $600.
What?
I looked on eBay and I think I found one there for the cheapest, and that was $400. So I'm gonna have to make this work. We have a lot of crispy looking paint there. That's not good. Let's find out what's underneath.
Look, Jack's finally using his PPE.
I always wear my PPE. I'm gonna use this bad boy right here. I'm gonna have Kyle stand behind it with the vacuum and take up all the dust so that we don't cover the shop in dust again. All right, let's find out how much is on here. Thick. That's real thick. Yeah, that's a lot of material.
Yeah.
You look a little dusty.
Do I?
Yeah.
I did not do my job well.
It didn't help much, but take a look at this, dude. Look at that. You can actually see the number of layers on here. There's this piece here, the green, which is like the fiberglass reinforced filler. Then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then probably a skim coat being 5 layers of Bondo. 5 layers of Bondo. And that's just that small little section.
It's like a Tootsie Pop.
It is.
How many licks to get to the center of the Supra?
It's going to be more than 3. A 1, a 2, a 3. All right, so that wasn't exactly what I wanted to see, but it was kind of what was expected, because you can see there's a lot of body filler. I mean, that is super, super thick. Back here, you can see that been all crunched up. They basically made the line right here where the bumper mates up to it with body filler, so it's not good. But if you look back here, it gets even worse. I mean, this is, that's some nasty looking seam sealer, and it doesn't look like that from factory. And they did it over a plug here. Look at this. They just seam sealed the plug. Nice.
Yeah, well, now it's extra plugged.
The thing that worries me the most about this, though, is this right here. If you can see here, that crack right there, that tells me that this rear body panel came over this way quite a bit. It looks like they've got the taillight fitting goodish, I guess, here. Take a look on the inside. All right, so with all of this all cobbled up and looking bad, I mean, this is kind of in the way, but let's see if I can get that out of here. Nope, not gonna move. Okay, anyway, look at that right there, Kyle. You see all that stuff crunched in right there?
Oh, yeah.
That tells me that this thing came over quite a bit. And not only that, there's some marks here that look a little bit more, you know, like it's been stressed. So It looks like they got all of the direction that way with the inner structures, but I think once we get behind this quarter panel, we're gonna find a lot more damage. So let's, I got an idea.
Okay.
All right, so this pains me to have to do because it's gonna be a, you know, the point of no return thing, but it's gotta be done. And the reason it's gotta be done is because it's got rust here anyway, so.
That little piece of rust?
Yeah.
That's nothing.
I mean, why would I be going up there? What would I mean, the problem is all back here, so.
I mean, if you're pointing that out, that's way up here. I hope you have solutions for everything that you're doing here.
I don't. With no remorse or plans for this car, I decided to just cut right into this thing because honestly, how much worse can this be? There's so much body filler, it doesn't want to come off. If you haven't already yet, subscribe to the channel and hit that thumbs up button on this video right now. It really helps me out. And trust me, with this Supra, I'm gonna need all the help I can get. That's not that bad.
Is it good news?
No, because I just cut this. Maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Like, actually?
Yeah, I don't think I should have done that.
Oh, no.
I think this could have been repaired.
Damn it, Jack!
With disappointment after disappointment of so much body filler flying off this quarter panel, I took a quick break so that I could remove this quarter glass. Look at that.
One Supra window.
Oh, buddy. Oh, but is that... So, what part is metal and what part is not?
Yes.
Yeah?
Okay, good. Good. So that's metal, and then this is... Wow.
That's air.
That is it.
Yeah.
There is a speed hole there.
Yeah.
It makes your car faster.
We've gone to a place where we cannot go back from now.
Yes.
I've made mistakes.
I
I
mean,
think this was probably repairable. Somebody somewhere is going to be mad at me.
that was repairable?
I don't.
Did you make the hole in the metal?
I made the hole.
Okay, that could have been repairable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Queensland Supra Club.
I did not see that.
Look at that.
Look at that.
So you can barely make it out. I don't even know if you can see that. It says Queensland Supra Club, and Queensland is Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, cool. That's pretty cool.
I bet you if you went to...
Oh, look, and it said Supra.
Oh, it did say
You see
Supra.
Supra?
Yeah, it's a
Supra.
Yeah, it's a Supra right there. So, if you go on their Facebook page, I bet you could see this car at some point.
I need to look that up.
Yeah,
I need to figure out who did this to this car.
they're
because
probably
it's
watching.
pretty bad.
If you're in the Queensland Supra Club in Australia, and if this was your car, explain yourself.
This is bad.
There is a price on your head.
Yeah. It will cost you one Supra quarter panel now.
Yes, yes. If you can provide a new Supra quarter panel, all is forgiven.
Oh gosh, dude. Yeah, this is.
It looks good, but you got the front end good. So now you got to work on the back half, and then the middle bit,
Yeah, and then the middles, and then the unders, and then the.
and then the interior,
Insides.
and the outside, and then
the running parts.
all the running parts.
Is this what a panic attack feels like? All right, so we found some interesting things down here. I haven't showed this to Kyle yet, but we have bonus stuff.
Bonus stuff. I love bonus stuff.
So if you look down in here, can you see that?
Ooh, I see some goodies.
Yeah, let's just
Can I have them?
here. You can keep this if I can get it out without cutting myself. Okay. There you go.
Oh,
I found your 10mm
Oh, goody.
and the ratchet.
Does it? It doesn't spin.
That is rusted shut. How funny is that, dude?
Wow.
How long has that been sitting in here? I mean, I bet that thing was fixed. Oh, look. Even
there more?
Even more. Look at this. Here we go. That is what looks like to be the piece that goes under here. So that oh, yep, that's exactly what that is.
Nice.
So that piece rides inside of there. That's hilarious.
Why is that inside the quarter panel?
I don't know, but there's more stuff in here
But wait,
too.
there's more.
There's some Bondo boogers in here. Look at this. These are like what we call, like when you see the backside of a panel and you see it and you go, oh, it's a wormhole. That's Bondo that has been pushed through holes. So without a doubt, there's holes on this panel somewhere else.
Nice.
But yeah, look right here, dude. Take a look at this. Come back on this side. You're not gonna be able to see it from there. Look at this piece here. You see how caved in that is? That's,
oh yeah.
That's supposed to be straight right there. Also down there, it's bent in. Up here, look at that. You see that piece right there? See how the shape of that is? That's supposed to be perfectly flat. That tells you right there how far this lower panel came in. Definitely gonna have to pull this out a little bit, get it to be straighter. And yeah, that's, okay, I'm feeling a little less bad about cutting a hole in this thing, so let's keep going. I think we should make some more major cuts because why not?
Major cuts.
Major cuts. So
can we get the gas tank away from it first?
you'll be all right. It's okay.
I live every day in fear.
Nothing to be afraid of. You just don't think about it. Now Kyle and I remove the deck lid and we find even more discoveries. And they just keep getting better. Hey Kyle, I'm gonna take this 10 millimeter right here out of my taillight. Oh, it's spinning. Why is it spinning? Because that is a screw going through the top of a 10 millimeter nut.
Quality.
Look at this. Hold on. You can't make that up.
That's a wood screw.
You cannot make this up. How? Why?
How is that even holding?
Why? Yeah, that's what I want to know. Like, what did they put in there to make that hold?
There's a block of wood behind it.
Oh, dude, look. This thing came over quite a bit. And they repaired it. And when they repaired it, it looks like they just welded right there. Yeah, this is the best car I've ever had. And while we joke about our misfortunes and the things that we've discovered along the way in this car, it's time to get everything out so that we can replace all of this with brand new stuff. One of the things that we are going to do is we are going to have Eric build a full custom wiring harness for this car. There's lots of goodies and lots of things that are going into this, and we want this thing to be in tip-top condition. So the first thing we do is we remove all of the old junk. Now I remove the doors as well as the wiring harness. The cleanup process is one of the most important steps when you're doing any kind of car build. You want to make sure that you start with a clean canvas. And even though this car is a big giant piece of junk, we still want to make sure that we get everything cleaned up and ready for the next steps. One of the things I really like to do is pre-mark all of the spot welds so that I'm able to drill or grind all of them off. This was no simple task on this car since it had so much paint on it. The key to grinding these spot welds is not grinding all the way through. You want to be able to use the chisel to break the last little bit free, so that way you don't remove anything from the lower layer. With the seam sealer removed, you can clearly see how much damage this was actually hiding. Every time I cut something away, especially when it was metal, it was like opening up a can of worms. Literally. All right, so the reason why I want to change this quarter panel is because there's a lot of things going on behind it. If you see right here, this looks really, really bad, and it's also a spot for corrosion. This is where they did a repair. And if you come further over here, you can see all of this is damaged. This is still in, this is way in and bent up. This is broken and damaged here, as well as tons of body filler all through here. But there's something interesting that I discovered right down here. And that is some suspicious looking welds. And if you take a look right there, I don't know if you can see that or not, there's like some gunk right here and then just a piece of welding wire through there. So I want to find out what's going on behind there. And to do that, we're going to use today's sponsor, Blue Eddy. And we're going to power some tools right here in the shop off of this machine right here. You've seen this thing many times on the channel. I'm going to see right now, this will actually be able to power this, and we can discover what's going on underneath that paint. Take a look at what I just found, Kyle.
That looks like a seam.
Yeah, so someone has done a repair down here. And I don't think they'd replace this panel up here, but I think they replaced this lower panel. So I want to find whether or not it's got some welds down here too. So let's keep going. Take a look at that. That rocker panel section's been replaced. So the good news is we know now that we need to do more work right there. That's not good news.
Yippee.
But I want to see something else. Let's see if we can power the lift with this thing. So
No way.
I think it'll power the lift.
No
too.
way.
Let's do it.
Well, it powered that thing, and that's 9 amps.
Yeah, so this one is 14.5. So let's see if this will work.
Well, these are 20 amp output sockets on this thing, and it has 2,048 watt hours of charge on it. So if it can power the lift, it should be able to power it up for a while.
We should be able to power the lift, that, and a light.
All at the same time.
Yes, and Freddy's refrigerator.
Do you have a refrigerator? Is it running?
I better go catch it.
Better go catch it.
That was good, dude. See if our lift will be powered by this thing. Dude, that's gonna be crazy if it does. Let's see.
I mean, this is heavy. Hold on.
Full effect.
This is, yeah, full effect. That right there is powering the lift right now. Hit it.
No problem.
It's working.
Dude, this is awesome.
Oh my God.
Not only can Blue Eddy power your tools at the shop, but it can also power your household appliances during any natural disaster, keeping you powered up after the storm.
Okay, well, if it can lift that, and it's got 4 plugs on it, what other stuff can we've got a grinder, a light.
Hey, Kyle.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Ah!
It works.
That's unbelievable.
With the Blue Eddy app, you can monitor your power usage, check how much charge is left, and control your devices from anywhere in the world. Of course, you can charge this thing off the wall at your house, but one of the really cool features of the Blue Eddy is that you can actually charge this thing from your car's alternator on the go. So you can literally take this thing anywhere and keep a full charge. It also has many different charging ports here for different types of devices, like USB-C, USB-A, and also you got your 12 volts here, as well as when you go to plug anything in from your RV. Now the next time you need to get something to power your house, any of your utilities, something like that, if you have a natural disaster, something like the Blue Eddy is a great thing to use, and you can get a deal right now on their website for Black Friday. So go check them out, because I got to keep working and there's a lot of stuff to go here. So I'm going to keep using this. I'll be busy. One of the hardest things to do when you're removing a panel is to make sure that you don't drill through all the spot welds. You want to make sure you grind where you need to grind and drill where you need to drill. And when you drill through something, you're leaving less material to be able to weld back to. Now the problem with this was there was a lot of MIG welds where I couldn't see where the weld was. So I had to take extra precaution just to make sure that I was preserving the bottom layer of metal. Just like the Evo, I plan to make more tire clearance here by rolling the quarter panel flange. So when I cut this, I need to take extra precaution not to damage any extra metal. When you remove spot welds, you want to carefully break them free. You definitely don't want to go all the way through. And when you go all the way through, you end up damaging the metal underneath. Here, I just separate it slowly with the chisel and a hammer. Here I take caution while using the cutoff wheel to cut through this rocker panel and not cut through the parts that are underneath. When cutting your quarter panel off, you want to save as much metal as possible on the existing piece. That way, when you get a new piece, you have plenty of room to section in that piece. That was a lot of work to cut this off. It looks okay, I guess, but there is some discoveries and things that I've found on this car now that are not so good. One of them being there has been a structural repair, big surprise, to the B-pillar here. Now, it looks like here, this is the outer, or I guess you would call this the rocker reinforcement, but the outer rocker reinforcement. And you can see this weld along here, right? It's kind of protected, it's kind of not. Definitely gonna have to treat that for rust. The unfortunate part about that is I can do nothing to change that being changed. If I was to change this whole piece, I would need a whole new rocker section on this car, and that's just a lot of work, and it's unfortunately something that I don't have to be able to repair that. But what I do see here is that this doesn't look that bad. It's, you know, it's not the best repair, but it's not the worst. Thankfully enough, I can probably just live with that. But over here on the back side of the car, after we remove some stuff, see we got a couple rust spots, things like that. We've cut this kind of jagged. Don't worry, this is going to come across here later. It'll be much cleaner. But if you look at down here, this whole section is really, really bad. Now, I'm going to have to pull this out. I'm also going to have to replace the floor section in here, which we found out is actually been modified. I was looking at this here and I thought to myself, like, I don't remember there being a hole here, and I don't think Toyota would make it necessary for a hole to go there so that you could put the antenna there. But that's what was there, and that's what we're going to have to deal with. So I'm going to have to find a piece to replace this as well. There's a little bit of damage going on the inner wheelhouse as well as the outer wheelhouse. The quarter panel is removed, and you can see that the rear body panel back here, it's a little bent up in some places. We got obvious signs of bends going on right here, but this is not the worst of it. The worst is the repair that was done before. So let's take a look at the back side of the quarter panel. Now here is the part that is the problem. It's not as bad as it could be, but it's still not good. So as you can see here, we have a OEM piece that doesn't have the E-coat. Remember when I replaced the panel before on my Evo, I sprayed it back the undercolor because that actually protects this thing from rusting. This here is just an electric coat that is to prevent it from rusting straight out of the factory, but you're supposed to coat that with something to seal it, right? So what I usually do is I put a epoxy on it and then I cover it with the color on the bottom. Also, there is zero corrosion protection for any kind of rust. There is no cavity wax along these. There's no cavity wax along here, and you can see it started rusting right there. But that's, you know, the gist of what is going on with this here. Also, you can see this rust hole started right at the spot where they cut this and seamed it in. That's called a hot spot. And if you remember what I've said before about hot spots, it's when you weld something somewhere and you're not able to get any corrosion protection behind it. And that's what can happen. It actually caused a rust hole in the panel. So now that we got that part out of the way, let's take a look at the bad repairs that were done on this quarter panel. So you can see, just look at the way this is shaped. It is bent up in every single way. Like, it is really bad. You can tell they used a stud puller across here. And again, there's no cavity wax. There's nothing there. Eventually, being in Florida, we get a ton of rain, right? That will start to rust. You'll start to have corrosion popping up on the backside. Not only that, in the back right here where we cut this off, it didn't get as much damage, but it still had a lot of repair done to it. All of this across here is body filler. You can see as we cut through it, it just chipped off. The worst areas are here. This is still bent up right here. That caused a lot of damage to the pocket area. Not good. So now, because of all that, there's going to be a lot of cleanup work on this, and I think we should probably clean this up, see what else we can see going on the floor area, on the wheelhouse area, and then we have to travel. Well, but we, I mean me, because I found a part. It just tends to be usually on the other side of the country. That seems to be my luck, and especially with the old Japanese cars that I pick, I always have to go treasure hunting. So treasure hunting it is, but first, before we do that, let's clean this up and see if we can find any more damage. I just want to say thank you again to Super Clean for supporting the channel and sending us over a bunch of this degreaser. It has come in really handy, especially on a car like this. All right, now you can see really how bad this actually is. Over here, not so much, but you can see what they use to cover the welds. In some areas, you can see also now the burn and the rust forming here on this piece. I'm not sure yet what I'm gonna do with this piece. I could possibly change this out, but I have to find a major section of the car first, which that might be happening. But this here has a bunch of undercoat on it. The undercoat is definitely not gonna stay on there. What I'm gonna do eventually is I'm gonna take lacquer thinner or some type of chemical to remove this so that I'm able to recoat this again. I'll grind down the welds, I'll make it look nice. And then same thing over here. I'm gonna have to clean up this area here because that's where we had our major rust portion starting. And you can see it's pitted. I think if I poke this with a screwdriver, that might be perished too much. We might not be able to fix that. Perished. Been hanging around Matt too much. You'll find out later. But anyway, this over here is definitely gonna be a little bit of a hot spot, so I'm gonna definitely have to take care of that. But if we move to the back of the car now, take a look at how clearly now you can see all of the damage. The taillight pocket is in right through here. This whole section is in, and this piece here is in here. The floor is crunched, we already knew that, but you can really see visually now how bad this is. You can even see like a little bump right here. That's from this thing tucking underneath. So this whole piece probably is sunk down right there as well. So what I'm gonna do to fix that is I'm gonna pull this out, I'm gonna hammer and dolly this, get it as straight as possible. And then once I'm done doing that, I will again epoxy the whole side of the car underneath before I put the panel on. And then I'm also going to go ahead and put the color, which looks like light green, I wanna say. It's similar to what the Evo had on it. A lot of these cars have like either gray, light green, dark green, or olive brown or tan. This looks like light green, so that's what I'm gonna go with. I'll order that up, but before I order that up, we gotta get on the road and we gotta get this stuff. It's gonna be a fun trip, let's just say that. It's not gonna be easy. There's nothing like leaving your hometown and seeing the beautiful lights over your home city as you venture out to find something very interesting. As we arrive at our destination, we land in a city that I'm very familiar with, Houston, Texas. I've picked up an F-150. I am in Houston, Texas, and this is where it all started. As you can see, it is raining. I told you guys I was a technician, and this is where I got my training. I actually left Florida and went to school for a year in Houston, Texas. This is kind of crazy because everything looks pretty much the same, except there's a few more new buildings. Let's go take a look at the old buildings where we learned to wrench on cars and swing hammers. This is crazy. So this building right here was where we learned to use the frame racks and the paint booths. I learned how to paint, learned how to do a ton of stuff here. And then if you go over to the front, that was where the actual custom classes were, where we had some really cool teachers, Mr. Hernandez and Mr. Glass. And if there's by any chance that anybody knows Mr. Glass or Mr. Hernandez, if they still teach here at UTI, I would like to say thank you to those guys because they definitely shaped the way that I thought when it came to collision repair. And it was really awesome to be able to explore my creative abilities here at UTI. Those guys were awesome and I really loved their classes. So just like Florida, we have rain in the forecast pretty much all day, and thanks to George over here, we have the quarter panel to save the Supra. Dude, thank you so much. I called you like what? Or I messaged you on Facebook 3 weeks ago, and you said I'll hold the part for you while you're gone, and now we're here, and you're parting out a Supra, and you have a lot of parts here. So if you want, I can leave a link in the description so you can sell some of these parts.
Thank you.
Maybe somebody will want to get something else extra.
Sounds good.
So thanks to this guy here, we're gonna get back on the road. We're gonna drive back to Florida. Now, the long arduous drive back and in the rain. Literally been like this the whole way. Anything for Supra parts. All right, man, check this out. So I went to Texas, back to Houston where I actually stayed. I'm gonna have you stay right there, but I got something really cool to show you. I don't get too excited about things like this, but this is really exciting because it's everything we need.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everything we need.
Everything we need.
What do you... Oh my God.
Ta-da!
Hold on. What am I looking at here?
This is part of a Supra. This is 1/4 of a Supra.
This is the part. This is a quarter of a car.
This is a quarter of the car. And it has
Holy
the
cow.
quarter panel on it.
Where did you get this?
In Texas. So found this online on Facebook.
It has a gas cap.
It has a gas cap. So let me explain something to you about what I got here. That gas cap alone, we've talked about this previously, that gas cap alone is worth like $400 to $600 online. I believe there's one on eBay that's about $400 right now. Like I'm pretty sure it's like $400. But yeah, we got a quarter glass, good condition. We got a vent, good condition. We got the vent here that was broken on our other one, good condition. Wheel liner, good condition. We got the guts. Let me see if I can get this thing open here. It's like finding something in the dark, you know? Yeah, look at that.
Wow.
That's our broken piece right there. Dude, that was the piece that I'm like, I have no idea where I'm going to find that from. This is an epic find. This is an epic find. See, I've been here earlier and I already cut my leg.
Oh, good job.
So, you know, hopefully that doesn't get me demonetized.
Cut metal is sharp, Jack.
Yeah, exactly. But dude,
it still has like the stickers.
Everything.
Oh my God, that's
everything.
So cool.
So the guy that had this car, he basically got this car imported, and it was somebody sold it to him who imported it illegally. And they were going to have to destroy the car. So he was like, no, man, I'm not losing my money on this. So his loss was our gain. We actually got this thing and saved it from the crusher. So now we are saving a car that was going to go to the crusher to put it on a car that should have been in the crusher.
Wow.
I like to start with projects that are totally unnecessary and don't need to be fixed. But dude, what do you think? I mean, come on, look at this.
I mean, this is. I do have one concern.
Yeah, what's up?
It is the wrong color.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be stripped. But also, look at this here. So you can see this was done in Japan. Like they added a reflector to it. It's kind of weird. I don't know why. I hate the look of the reflectors. Like it's kind of a weird thing. Like that's a USDM thing. So you know what? Maybe because it was imported, they had to install that or something like that.
For like a requirement.
It's a requirement.
Road.
It's like a DOT, like USA DOT.
They're trying to make a road legal.
Yeah, so we're gonna shave that and take that back off.
So obviously, the thing that needs to be road legal.
But let me show you why this is such a amazing score, dude. Like I don't know if I you know this, but take a look on the inside right here. So.
Okay. Oh my God! It has the whole structural panel too.
So we have the floor, the rail, the outer wheels, the outer and inner wheelhouse, which we probably don't need to use, but somebody somewhere might need that. So when I cut this apart, I might be able to sell this rear rail as a piece where someone needs it, they can section into their car, because this whole section right here sections into the car, you know, past here. So if it's been rear-ended, they could fix that. So hopefully we can help another Supra owner save their Supra. But as far as I'm concerned, this is an awesome score. And look at this. See right here?
No antenna.
No antenna hole. No antenna hole.
Wow.
Yeah, that's weird. So somebody absolutely used the antenna that wasn't meant for the car and put that in there and made that fit. But now we have a solid new floor. So next step, straightening out the quarter panel over there, straightening out the wheelhouse over there, cutting this off very, very, very carefully, just like we did with the Evo, getting all of our parts corrosion protected on the inside, coating them with epoxy, painting them the same colors, and yeah, welding it back on. So we're gonna go back to visit our friend again, and yeah, sweet, we got cool parts. You wanna see how I repair this?
I do.
I got some special tools.
All right.
You wanna see them?
Specialty tools.
Hold on, they're right here. Just let me get.
Wow.
Oh, wait.
What is it in one of these cases?
This one.
What's
this one?
No, Jack.
Okay.
That's a hammer.
Yep.
That's not a specialty tool.
Watch. Check it out. I'm gonna show you how I fix this.
Might be a
Ready?
special tool in your hands.
Ready?
Oh no.